Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the program Business Time. This is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. My name is William Kumwembe. In the program today, we look at the effectiveness of the trade fairs in Malawi to building linkages for businesses and success of trade, as Malawi is hosting the 35th International Trade Fair here in Blantyre. And also in the program, we speak with Britam Insurance Malawi Chief Executive Officer on prospects for growth in the insurance industry as penetration remains relatively low. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned. From the trade fair grounds, hello and welcome to this week's edition of the program. And my name is William Kumwembe. In our main story today, we look at the effectiveness of trade fairs for business linkages and creation of platform for connection between businesses and potential and existing customers. Malawi is hosting the 35th International Trade Fair, and focus is on the role of the private sector in as far as growth and development is concerned. Our journalist Benedetta Chiwandamia has been speaking with some of the exhibitors here to find out their review or perception of effectiveness of a platform like this where linkages are created. We have the whole story in this report.
We are right here at the Chichiri Trade Fair grounds in Blantyre, where the 35th Malawi International Trade Fair is taking place. Under the theme this year, promoting economic transformation through private sector-led industrialization, emphasizing on the key role of the private sector in transforming Malawi's economy. So we have been moving around, and we will be moving around to engage some of the exhibitors that are here, traders, local traders, international traders that are here, to hear from them their view about the 35th trade fair, and also what products are they exhibiting this time around, what business linkages have they managed to make during this year's international trade fair. We have started here at the stand where we have Malawian made shoes.
My name is Agred Zama.
What kind of products are you exhibiting today?
Here I'm exhibiting shoes and also leather made in Malawi.
Made in Malawi. Mostly when we talk of shoes, we find people importing. But now we are talking of Malawi moving away from being an import nation, dominant in importing, to start exporting, to start actually buying from the locals. What potential is there from the leather industry that you can actually supply shoes for our Malawi market?
The potential is very huge because this time around there is also a ban on other like security shoes. So this shows to us that we need at least to pull our socks. And because we have cooperatives here, Blantyre Cooperative, Lilongwe Cooperative, and Nzuzu Cooperative, and the Bantu, all of us were discussing the same, and we have agreed that we want to show Malawi that we can make it.
Now, you have been at the trade fair for some days now. What is your take in terms of this year's fair so far?
This year's fair, it was a good one because we have met with the potential buyers and also the linkages. There are other people who are very much interested in leather and also our products. So it was good at least to come to the trade fair. At least Malawi now can know that we are here, we are existing, and we are producing things from leather here in Malawi. As
Malawi is trying to move from donor aid support to self-sufficiency, boosting locally produced products or boosting local production is one way that has been identified as to go for us to achieve self-sufficiency and even improve our export. We are also at one of the pavilions where they are showcasing Malawian locally produced products. So we also want to hear more as they are also taking part in this year's Malawi International Trade Fair. First of all, may we know you?
My name is Robert Saka. I am the sales representative manager from the southern region. FECO Investments, the producers of Usingini Upland Coffee.
We have seen your products. You are also taking part in this fair. First of all, what is your overview of the fair so far? You have been here since day one.
I would say, of course, it's different from the previous, and it has to be. But this year, the patronage is not that that good. Let me use that word, because we don't have a lot of international patronages that are patronizing this fair. But to the side of the organizers, this year I would say is this year's trade fair is the best in terms of the companies that have been called or that have been invited to take part in this year's fair.
As we are talking of Malawi producing quality products that would actually compete on the international market and propel the country into becoming an export-dominated country where we are exporting more. You have your products here. What would you say about the quality of your products and the potential that are there to be one of the products that would actually play a key role when we talk of import substitution and even exporting it to other countries?
Yes, as Usingin Upland Coffee, we made sure that we should be an example to the upcoming companies or to the coffee producers that were there before. I would say, even if you look at the packaging of Usingini itself, it tells the truly heart and mind and passion of trying to put Malawi back on the map, on the international market in terms of exporting. So because of that, we have also introduced something we don't have here, but we have introduced something which is called coffee in filter bags, which is of its first kind in the whole world. There have never been coffee in filter bags. We were the one to introduce that so that Malawi can export something which is good, export something which is different, export something which is viable on international market.
This year's Malawi International Trade Fair is focusing on promoting economic transformation. But we can't talk about economic transformation without talking about energy. And currently Malawi is also realizing or advancing or implementing the ATMM strategy, whereby the focus is on agriculture, tourism, mining, as well as manufacturing. That still requires Malawi to increase its energy capacity. So we are at the electricity generation company Ejenco's pavilion to hear more about Malawi's energy potentials and what they have brought to this year's Malawi International Trade Fair. I have here Mr. Moses Gwaza, who is the Senior Public Relations Manager for Ejenco, to shed more light. Good afternoon. It's afternoon at the time we are meeting.
Yes.
As Ejenco, this time around, what have you brought to this year's Malawi International Trade Fair?
Well, we are very excited to be here at the International Trade Fair. Basically, what we are here for is to give an assurance of our services to the nation. This year we're talking about promoting economic transformation. You cannot have meaningful economic transformation without energy. So we're here to assure the manufacturing industries, the nation, the service providers that we are going to continue to generate enough electricity for the industry. We have a number of projects that we are showcasing here. First of all, we are also informing the public what is it that we do as Ejenco? What are the projects that we have? So we have a number of projects that we are currently implementing, which we are also showcasing here. For example, we have a 50 megawatt project in Salima for solar. We are starting with 10 megawatts. That project is in progress. We are also doing feasibility studies for Jasombo and Jizuma hydropower stations in Kotakota. We are also doing a feasibility study for the combined gas turbine in Salima. So we are also rehabilitating and maintaining the existing power plants that we have. So we have all these projects that we have that we are showcasing here. But I must also mention that you might have been aware that we have also been given funds by the World Bank to start the Mparamanga project, which is a 358 megawatt power plant, which is going to be almost more than double the capacity that we have now. So we are here with a message of hope for the nation. We want to assure the manufacturing industry, the service providers, and the public at large that we are committed to ensure that we can contribute to the promotion of economic transformation by providing adequate and enough energy. You also mentioned the issues of ATMM, where they're talking about mining, agriculture, smart agriculture, tourism. All those things cannot happen if we don't have electricity. So we are here to provide assurance that yes, these strategies are there, and we are going to support the implementation and realization of these projects, these programs, by providing enough electricity to the nation.
This year's Malawi International Trade Fair has provided that opportunity for Malawian businesses, organizations and companies to showcase the potential that is there, to create business linkages and actually showcase their potential in contributing significantly to Malawi's economic transformation. Some of the businesses we have talked to, others have actually utilized this event this year to penetrate into international markets like Zambia and other countries. So as Malawi is advancing its economic transformation agenda through the ATMM strategy, whereby the emphasis is on agriculture, tourism, manufacturing as well as mining, this is one platform that has showcased that indeed, if well utilized, Malawi has what it takes to achieve its economic transformation agenda. From Chichili Trade Fair grounds, right here in Blantyre, this is Benedetta Chiwandamia.
Now from here, Benedetta also caught up with the Chinese ambassador to Malawi to discuss on Malawi's positioning to benefit from the policy where the Chinese government issued a stance to say there will be 100% no tariff on particular commodities, especially in agriculture and food. For an insight, Benedetta first asks the question, how is Malawi positioned to make the most of such?
To let more people know about this preferential policy carried out by Chinese government towards Malawi government, including Malawian. This trade policy especially is customized for the least developing countries, including Malawi, and it is called 100% tariff exemptions for us to import Malawian products to China. So no tariff at all. And now your government is introducing products to us like soybeans, the macadamia and chili pepper, and also the freshwater fish, yeah, which is produced in Malawian lake. So I think, I hope within my tenure as the Chinese ambassador to Malawi, we can find out more products that can go align with these policies and enjoy such preferential policies to for China to have more Malawian products to be have in our market.
At the moment, Malawian businesses benefiting from this preferential treatment.
Mm-hmm. How many?
Malawian businesses, I don't know, benefiting from this. Are they utilizing this?
Yes, indeed. We already imported soybeans, so we are working on the macadamia products, and it will be the protocol is going to be signed in June during the Hunan Economic and Trade Fair in Changsha Hunan province. So I see the progress. So I believe that more and more Malawian business people can enjoy such a policy. in the future with the joint efforts made by my office and also relevant ministries from Malawian government as well as MCCI, some NGOs like MCCI. But remember that I would like all the business people in Malawi to know that you are enjoying, you have the opportunity to enjoy the tariff-free policy, preferential policy, especially in this time. Some country just impose very heavy tariff over the other countries. Everybody knows that. But for China, we offer our tariff-free completely to the developing countries because we regard all developing countries members of the global south. We are one family, and that is the purpose of our pursue the shared destiny for mankind. So it comes from that.
Remember, you're watching Business Time, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. My name is William Kumwembe. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Business Time, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And my name is William Kumwembe. Today we are at the International Trade Fair grounds here in Blantyre, where Malawi is hosting the 35th International Trade Fair. Among key exhibitors here are insurance industry players. Now, this comes as insurance penetration remains relatively low in the country, seen at less than 2%. The question has always been to say what needs to be done to ensure that we address the problem and increase the penetration rate. I caught up with Britam Insurance Chief Executive Officer, Walls Major, who first starts by giving an insight regarding the performance of the company in the year 2024.
We issued we published our financials earlier this year, to be specific in April. If you go through the financials, one thing that you pick it from there is resilience. The business is very resilient. We did quite well in 2024, regardless of the challenging micro environment, as we all know. So, as a business, as an entity, we did manage to attain most of our targets, starting with the gross written premiums. We did manage to grow and even surpass our targets for 2024. The claims as well, we did manage to peak claims that were just within what we had anticipated in 2024. And at the end of the day, in terms of the profit before tax, we did quite well. We grew the profit before tax compared to 2023, and we also managed to achieve the targets that we had set in 2024. So we had a profit of around 2 billion overall that we did in 2024. It was very impressive, and we are quite happy with what we did in 2024.
The positive outturn came amid a volatile operating environment. We are talking in a scenario whereby the economy has been faced with a number of shocks, both exogenous as well as natural related. As if that is not enough, the country has also been facing structural challenges. We've noted how inflation has remained on an upward spiral. We've seen scarcity of forex in the country, volatility of the local currency, the kwacha. All these could have had or should have had a bearing on the performance of an insurance company like yours. How did you remain resilient amid these challenges?
You are quite right. The environment was challenging, and is still challenging by the way up to now. Most of the economic challenges they still exist as we speak now. But as I mentioned earlier, as a business, we are very resilient. So what we did was when we analyzed our business at that time, we came up with some very good strategies. One of them I'll probably just share with you is we looked at our portfolio and we balanced the portfolio, because when you are operating in an environment like the one that we have currently in Malawi, you need to balance your portfolio. Otherwise, you might end up probably being knocked off easily. So we balanced up our portfolio. But when I say portfolio, I mean like the insurance portfolio. These are the risks that we like. Because there will be times when probably one company is just relying on one portfolio, maybe it's motor or fire, whatsoever. So we did balance up, and that strategy, that balancing, it ended up assisting us in terms of now realizing the gains that I just mentioned you earlier. But we are also very, we are good an agile team, and we are very keen and very pushy when it comes to managing the cost and even the claims themselves, because that was very key. In that year, that financial year, even currently, we just mentioned about the inflation, things are almost like going up every day. So you need to be very keen in terms of the expenses that you are incurring as a business. And that's what we pushed so much as a business. And combined with all whatever I've mentioned, that's what made us to achieve these targets that we managed to do last year.
We're now 5 months into the year 2025. How do you describe the first half of the year 2025 in as far as performance and operating environment is concerned?
So far, the looks, the going looks good. For 5 months now, I think as we speak, most of the targets that we have even set this year, we have already met them. The environment hasn't changed. It still remains the same. Issues of forex, we know, there's still a problem. Inflation is still high. Of course, it has gone down, but it's still high. So the environment hasn't changed. But from us, so far, as at end of April, it looks good this year. It looks very promising. And it's the same strategy that I mentioned earlier on that we did in 2024. It's just a continuation, and we're still monitoring those strategies. They are still assisting us up to now to realize what we have realized so far.
Recently, officials from Britam headquarters were in the country holding discussions with China-Malawi officials, and one of the key messages that came out from the conversations was crafting of a strategic plan for the next 5 years from 2026. Would you give us a hint or a brief picture regarding the initiative and what the future holds for the company?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Actually, we are very privileged to have hosted our seniors from head office, the leadership from head office. They came in March. We had like a board retreat, a meeting where, because currently we are in the process of crafting our 2026-2030 strategic cycle. So currently from January up to now, what we are doing is just idea generation. So they came, the leadership from Kenya, to sit down with us and the board, the directors, in March, where now we are still discussing and having those ideas, polishing them. So what is happening currently, as I mentioned earlier, we are only generating ideas. And these ideas, some are big, audacious goals. Some of these goals are here. You look at them and say, wow, okay, and then we'll meet them. So we're just coming up with those ideas. And actually in the next 2 weeks, because we are doing that at group level as well, so in the next 2 weeks, all the groups, all the companies within Britam, that is almost from the 7 countries, and the 13 companies within Britam will be meeting in Nairobi, where now we'll be sharing these ideas from different regions, geographical regions. Then from there, from June, that's when we'll come back and then try now to refine those particular ideas into the specific now strategies.
Now we move on into the logistics industry, where for quite some time players there have been lamenting challenges which emanated from the COVID pandemic some few years ago. Now, about 5 years after the end of COVID, players in the industry say the future looks bright as stakeholder engagement has been enhanced with more opportunities available with the opening of so many other markets within and beyond the region. I caught up with Williams Muhone, who is Universal Freight Handlers Chief Executive Officer, to discuss how the industry is failing as we speak.
Universal Freight Solution, it's a Malawian-owned company that does mostly to do with logistics, shipping, transport, as well as clearing. Normally, we also do sell containers. whoever wants to use the used containers, we also do sell. That's number one. Number two, we also use these containers to do the removal. So whenever somebody wants to have some goods moved from here to Longo Blanta, we can load this container into the truck and be able to deliver wherever they want. Apart from that, the warehousing, whoever has got some goods which you want to keep in a safe place, we also keep for different kinds of clients inside there. So generally, by the end of the day, we also do the clearing part, where we have done a lot in the clearing part. We have done in all the nations, we have done all the countries where you want to import or to export anything that you do. So we are into that clearing as well and forwarding. Actually, the business has been up and down, but through the COVID-19 we have learned a lot, that in shipping or logistics, it's not about being present at the place of the loading or the place of offloading. We can use different means of how to do in terms of maybe emails or online buying and the like. So we could say where we are, not bad. We are moving because we have got hope by the end of the day. Actually, we have hope and we will see the light, and we have got belief that we will move from where we are. Because by the end of the day, logistics is wider. You have to change the way how people do. I'll give an example. If you want to move things from any country around the world, if you engage us, we're able to do that because we have got the expertise. We have got all nitty-gritty what is supposed to be done. So we are seeing the future is growing. We never had a place like this where we are today, but here we are. We have got a warehouse. We have got the fleet of the cars that are able to move. So the future is bright.
Well, on that note, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team from here at the Trade Fair grounds, my name is William Kumwembe. Thank you for watching, but always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Stay safe and goodbye for now.